Wow, greetings! Jazz hands apparently today. uh, it's Thursday. Ugh. So yeah, we're excited to get right into it because we're getting near the end of things. I think we're getting close to solving this murder. Oh yeah, we don't have Kim with us. Oh, I need to talk to. Oh, that person's gone? What? Here, let's just see if we can. Can you just? Oh no, he's not here. Oh, you know what? That's fine. We'll load this one so we don't have Kim. So, how's everyone doing? Hopefully good. Whatever. We're coming, comrades. Wonder how poorly this is gonna go. Uh, um, after 22.
You hear someone walking around inside. A poor communard from the...
Hmm. They're a bit confused.
This door is made of metal and appears to be No one answers. No one answers. No one answers.
Book?
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen. with temperatures falling down to minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Look around.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty.
Ace?
It's red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression. Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same
confused.
place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment.
Alright.
As you approach the metal grill, you can hear several
Ah.
voices having what appears to be an
Last
animated
fucking door.
discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez. Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected, something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure.
Oh.
No, that's just slightly burnt coffee. A smell you would recognize anywhere.
Just look at this pig, sniffing about after hours.
Why didn't you say the secret door was right behind you?
Must have slipped my mind. You know how it goes.
The metal grill is cool to the touch.
Bang.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent. A pair of frightened hares cowering in some dark crevice of their burrow.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice?
You're all communists? I'm looking for some communists.
Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
Listen, I've already built like 0.0001% of communism, but now I need to get organized. Can you help?
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
This one. Remember Dobrava and whatever.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way. No, they're still there. You can feel them back.
Alright. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Have fun at your underground meeting, pig. Hope it's a blast.
Thanks, Cindy.
The two young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor. Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are stacked so haphazardly, it's like they want them to collapse.
Careful, careful. Damn, hardly any difference. You're late.
He should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
Well, we had to get our gun.
There's a great deal of tension in this young man's shoulders, more than someone his age should bear. Meanwhile, his companion inclines toward him, eager to catch every word that dribbles from his friend's mouth. Don't let them see you flustered, sire. Play along.
What am I late for?
Are you saying you haven't done the reading for tonight?
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to wing this one.
There must be some misunderstanding. No one mentioned any.
Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
Maybe he can explain himself.
What were you doing with those matchboxes?
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently for two guys who are just messing around. It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could, with predictable results.
What exactly are you two doing here?
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Oh.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinaise.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader, one of the best at the university.
It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely seriously. Whatever you do, don't compare it to a common book club. Yawn. Can you imagine anything duller than a bunch of Beano-clads yanking each other's knobs?
Sounds like a place for intense intellectual engagement. Exactly my kind of jam.
That's our whole thing. The world is so shallow, all noise and repetition. We're interested in genuinely radical critique.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
I didn't realize they taught radical Mazovian theory in universities.
Huh. As though you can call that pablum teaching.
One thing you learn quickly at university is that you're not going to find a real education in any lecture hall or discussion seminar.
We are post-attendance, basically.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the so-called École Normale de Revachol is the library. That's where we've made our greatest critical strides.
I think you have an idea.
Go ahead.
Where's the rest?
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
So there's just two of you?
We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
What happened to them?
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory. Like novels, if you can believe it.
Imagine the audacity of wanting to read a novel in a reading group.
Maybe you just haven't found the right group yet.
We've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
Whatever this turnip business is about, one thing is perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do. You could learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them you're one of them.
What's so bad about whatever?
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets.
The short people.
Typical Gottwalders, in other words.
It's
Or
okay
is
for
it old
Uli to
people?
say that because his dad is from Gottwald.
So depressing about their
The
theories.
Gottwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are incapable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself.
In other words, they have lost faith in their own relevance.
That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide.
Oh, sounds miserable.
It is miserable. That's probably why they're always committing suicide. You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books.
What about Cindy?
Cindy is... how to describe her role?
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
That doesn't stop her from using the room for studio space, of course.
Okay, but what about the
For
Enoquards?
starters, they love talking about beans.
Beans?
That's right. Iconoclasts are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all, they love building models to predict how many beans there'll be in the future.
Nota bene, iconoclast is an extra pejorative form of the already pejorative name, Mazovian economists, a moderate school of Mazovianism which advocates the gradual transition to communism through carefully managed economic modernization rather than violent social.
Oh, fuck that. That'll never work.
They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Ah yes, the much maligned bean counters, ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
Metaphor?
If only. They've got all the beans accounted for in their asset sheets, their quarterly budgets, their future projections. But for some reason, there are never enough beans to go around. So we've just got to cut our bean rations in half.
And next thing you know, there are budget cuts, so now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again. You see, iconoclasts claim to be communists, but in reality they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
Say something about turnips?
It's an unfortunate story. You see, our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
Right. So a few weeks ago we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state, and Maurice said, what were his exact words, Ulex's?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering about? You've never heard of anything like it.
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
What's suitable
Sana said that he has been
revolutionary
hanging out with some
conditions?
non-communists lately.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group?
I don't understand.
Exactly. What educated person could believe that turnips grow at the same rate under capitalism and communism?
It's a sad reflection on our educational institutions.
So you expelled Maurice from a reading group over an argument about turnips?
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
What about the Wibbles? They're Wibbles too?
Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
Basically indistinguishable from fascists. You'd need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
Whoa. Fair enough, let's talk about something
Go
else.
ahead.
In group accepting new members?
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process with essays and presentations on assigned topics. But given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
Stefan, you can't be serious. For Gendarme?
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are. Besides, you still need to pass the interview portion of the entrance process. Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
Yeah.
Sure, we're here most every.
Sleep well, Junta.
Okay, composure. Seemed like a pretty low chance, though. Or no war but class war. Let's try it.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
I'm guessing these pots of whatever belong to Cindy?
Yeah, it's hers. She just sort of moved it all in a few months ago.
She said if she's going to make truly radical art, she needs a suitably radical workspace.
Fair?
And I don't think she could afford rent at an actual studio.
Now I'm wondering, what's the deal with this
The
place?
deal? At a fundamental level, I guess you could call it the shattered bones of a dream crushed by capital.
That's really good, Steban. You should save that for an essay.
Thanks, Uli. When the idea is sound, the words just sort of flow.
Yes, now keep developing the idea.
If this place is shattered bones, that must make us the bone weevils?
Yeah, that's not bad.
What the fuck's a weevil? Oh, it's some kind of beetle.
Not as good as Steban's original idea, though.
You like her art?
Oh, sure. It's definitely interesting, I would say.
Interesting. Isn't that just binoclad for I don't have a real opinion?
What's binoclad? Binoclad? Clad? Four eyes? Well, sure.
His companion's eyes widen with interest. He has a cold smile. It's like you sucker punched him with your words.
Come on. It's not that I don't have anything to say about Cindy's art. It's more that I'm still working out the details. It's a complex question. You've got to take your time with it.
You flustered the poor boy. Now he's got to say something.
I guess you could call her latest stuff a sort of counter-bourgeoisie calligraphy. She's got a real taste for radical slogans.
It's too bad she hasn't developed the theoretical foundation to do truly radical work.
I think she'll get there, though. She's still looking for a subject equal to her ambitions. Go ahead. Clinching? No.
We think of ourselves as more of an intellectual vanguard.
Reading group affiliated with the union somehow?
No, we're an independent organization. We acknowledge and respect the union's efforts, but our interests are more theoretical than Mr. Clare's.
He speaks the truth.
What's your group stance on lynching?
Our stance? What? Does he want to know if the SRV has established a party line on the lynchings in Martinez?
The SRV refers to the People's Republic of Samara, established as a socialist utopia by survivors of the revolution. It has since degenerated into a bureaucratic workers' state under the decades-long rule of President Sapormat Sport Kelezinski.
Though historically speaking, the SRV has supported direct action against right-wing paramilitary squads, especially when they are doing the Indo-Tribe's dirty work.
Good point. So as a provisional matter, I can say we support it.
Are they being sarcastic? You feel like you're caught in some elaborate joke labyrinth, but it's impossible to see your way through. It's always that way. Beneath the crust of irony, there's a molten sincerity that threatens to erupt forth. You may witness it yet.
What's your stance on crime in general?
That's easy. Crime is simply the inevitable expression of the injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism itself. It's a symptom, in other words, not a cause.
Yeah.
His
Fair.
companion can barely suppress a yawn.
There any operational communist?
No,
Quite nice.
unfortunately, the communards were hunted down and killed nearly to a man. All that's left of them are bones and old rifles.
Right, they all got shot in the head just like the
The
anarchists.
Insulindian deluge wiped out an entire generation of communists. Afterward, they were all bulldozed into mass graves.
Dark.
His friend, though, seems oddly unmoved. On the contrary, he appears to be savoring the thought of so many people shot in the head, regardless of their beliefs. Mark it. There's something sinister in that one. A moment of silence. They're waiting for you to speak. Is it getting warm in here? There seems to be a little pool of sweat forming in the depression of your lower back.
Is this happening? I thought I had my shit together.
You did. You must be extremely nervous for some reason.
Because I don't do well in interviews.
No, you're terrible at them. The thought of everyone looking at you, judging you, makes you want to heave, frankly.
I'm not nervous, I'm a superstar!
Oh, totally. A superstar breaking out in a cold sweat.
Hello, Cessny? Greetings! Why am I getting worked up? There are a couple kids.
Let's be frank. They're probably way smarter than you. You bet they've read more books than you can even name. Of course, it wouldn't kill you to crack open a book every once in a while. The hardest part will just be working up the nerve to ask without...
Everything all right, gendarme? You look a little green about the...
Hmm.
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dar.
It's heavy.
Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad.
How long is this book?
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get
The
through,
back cover.
back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author.
She look
She
like?
can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph, and yet
Hmm. So... need to go read some books on communist theory to encourage ourselves.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Okay, let's put a point in composure and see if it works. Doubt it will.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
No, we'll do save scumming if, but like 17% chance.
Okay.
It's
you
pretty
got
low.
this. You got this. Just open your mouth and say the words. What are those sounds? They're like the last mumblings of a mortally wounded badger.
Not against save scumming.
There's nothing you can do. It's the young man gives
Is everything all right?
You know what? Fuck it. All right, we'll save scum for
There might
this.
Would it help if we change the sub?
This isn't going to work. Maybe there's some other way
Ah.
you can prove yourself to them.
Some other way I could prove myself to the group?
Some other way? If you're not much of a reader, why are you so dead set on joining this reading group?
Point that I further my critical
I
studies.
suppose we are all here to advance our studies in some form or another. But to be perfectly frank, I just don't...
Steban, a moment.
What? Really? You're saying... But there's no way... Uh-huh. Yes. Okay. I am listening.
A note of real uncertainty in his voice.
All right, young man. Comrade Ulexes and I have conferred about it, and we've come up with an alternative way for you to convince us of your commitment to the group.
What's that?
The young man gives his companion an uncertain glance. The companion nods his head vigorously.
I want you to hit me.
Hit you?
Doesn't have to be a hard hit. Just enough to leave a mark. The idea is to show Maurice and those other traitors that we are the only reading group hardcore enough to tangle with the RCM.
This is what you've been waiting for. Time to lay his little punk ass out.
Oh, jeez. Hardcore to the mega! Yeah!
As with all applications of violence, the key is the appropriate amount of force exercised with
Slap.
absolute control on the part of the wielder. The actual moment of contact is ever so slightly disappointing, as the feeling is dulled by the yellow latex shell that contains your hand. The young man staggers back into the couch, eyes agog and momentarily dazed, but not seriously hurt.
Steban? Are you alright?
I'm fine. Better than fine, actually. Perhaps we should tangle with the gendarmerie more often.
A little ice on it will keep the swelling down. He'll be fine in a day or two.
No, it's kind of wild to us that, like, oh, you can't join this group, this reading group, because you don't read enough? Fine, hit me. What?
Yes. This worked out quite nicely.
Okay, gendarme. You've earned your place. Welcome to the most ideologically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez. Here's your first assignment. It's an overview of inframaterialist theory. A little basic, as you'll see, but one has to start somewhere.
Just take the book.
Come back when you're done. We'll be here pretty much every night after 10 p.m. Do be sure to take your time with the reading.
Alright,
We'll be eager to hear your thoughts.
bye. Well, I guess we gotta do that. Cindy, we joined the reading group.
Hello again, officers.
Don't care. Like how she says officers. Tim's in bed, thank you. Alright. Let's go home.
It's getting late, It's snowing. A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation.
Listen,
The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears.
but
Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
What is this place to you?
possible resting stop.
Waves crash onto the beach, drowning the reeds. Far to the south, a congregation gathers to a soup kitchen in a shelter for the homeless. An old woman gives out knitted scarves for free. Far to the southeast, 2 men and a woman dress themselves in ceramic armor. A shortwave radio hisses on the windowsill. One makes a salute, the other downs a drink. Weapons under the bed. A middle-aged man stands in a rundown shack on the edge of a fishing village. Nothing nods. No one salutes him. No sight of the fugitive.
Feels like a cozy hideout.
Who are you talking to? There is no one here. Not even cold.
Thank you, strange sensation.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Revachol forever.
Interesting.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it.
Alright. Good night.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still,
No idea.
you've earned a rest.
Forever Shaw forever, though, apparently. Okay.
The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
Yeah, just let me sleep.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people. And then forgets
You've only
about
killed
it.
3 people. Can't fool us. Shut up.
Hear that? Iceman wants to sleep. He doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Black water under the bridge.
No idea.
The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
What is it?
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
Why are you doing this? I just want to sleep.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The
Last-
worst of them all.
The last stream?
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
The air will smell of apricots.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, In front of the video rental. There is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay.
Doesn't sound like it'll be okay.
Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
Well, too late now. Open your eyes. Why are we sitting down? Everything. Eh. Okay. We're sure Kim's standing outside waiting for us, but you know, we'll just sit here reading for a few hours first.
The cover of this pocket-sized volume features a swirl of orange, yellow, and green. The title, A Brief Look at Inframaterialism, is set in an authoritative yet approachable serif font. What an interesting color palette. It's vibrant, yet somehow leaves you ever so slightly nauseated. On the inside jacket flap, you find a brief summary. What is inframaterialism? A highly theoretical branch of Mazovian communism? A collection of mystical ramblings by a discredited revolutionary? Or possibly both? This brief look, TM, introduces readers to one of this century's most fascinating and misunderstood theories in a concise, jargon-free manner.
Far so good.
You turn to the table of contents. The guide itself is divided into several sections with seemingly esoteric titles like Effects of Plasm on Root Vegetables and Mental Projection and Transference. There's also a brief introduction about the life of Ignis Nielsen.
Well, start of a beginning.
If you're like most people, you probably believe that your thoughts reside in your brain, right?
Yes?
That's not right at all. Thoughts don't exist in the brain. They float through the air. Your brain is but a fish, swimming through them.
Right?
Wrong, at least according to Ignis Nielsen. As Mazov's devoted comrade and leading theoretician, Nielsen was responsible for developing much of the intellectual foundation of communism. But his interests and speculations were famously wide-ranging. During his final years in exile, he produced, among other things, an early guide to home brewing, instructions for raising revolutionary children, plans for a universal pictographic language, and a detailed materialist critique of Dolores Day's chess strategy. A true man of ideas, equal to any of the great DeLorean polymaths. But one subject he returned to time and time again was the fundamental relationship between thoughts and matter.
Interesting.
We may yet discover, he wrote in his notebooks, that under certain exceptional circumstances, the proletariat's embrace of historical materialism may be so fervent that their beliefs take form in the world of matter as a kind of revolutionary plasm.
Just like an idea, like an expansion of like mob mentality, groupthink or whatever, or is this interesting?
Stay with us a moment longer. What's more, Nielsen speculated that this plasm, when it becomes powerful enough, might begin to influence the material reality surrounding it. Hence the name, inframaterialism.
Well, our universe is subjective. Their perception, like just a collection of all of our perceptions together. That's reality, right? So, all right. We're picking up what they're putting down.
Unfortunately, Nielsen passed away before he was able to develop these initial ideas into a full-fledged theory. That work was left to subsequent generations of communist theorists. Building on Nielsen's basic insight, these theorists reached a startling conclusion that a sufficiently revolutionary state might begin to exhibit certain extra-physical effects based on the amount of plasm generated by its citizens.
So these people are saying that if enough people just believe in communism, it'll come true?
The actual theory is highly technical, but for the purposes of this brief look, TM, that's a fine working definition of the concept. That's because this is absolute idiocy, not even worth engaging with.
Seems like a communist dying by political rivals.
No. There's something here. You can feel it.
Alright, let's hear about this extra physical stuff.
Inframaterialists divide the extra physical effects of the revolutionary state by the level of plasm required to achieve them. At the lowest, or first level, revolutionary plasm is believed to stimulate or invigorate matter without altering its essential properties.
Sounds like that business with the turnips.
Precisely, though plasm does more than increase vegetable yields. It may also influence the physiology of revolutionaries themselves.
See, the thing is, in this world there's the pale, so like can't immediately discredit this idea.
It's also been postulated that plasm may account for the remarkably full and manly facial hair observed on many communist males.
Stroke your beard proudly. We're so glad we didn't shave.
Of course, inframaterialists argue that revolutionary plasm may stimulate human physiology in other ways as well. In fact, reports from the revolutionary period claim that the most radically devoted communards were able to engage in vigorous intercourse for up to 8 hours at a time.
So they're gay.
8 hours? There's no way. Your equipment would be mashed to jelly. No wonder the communards couldn't shoot straight. They were too shagged out. Hyperproductive vegetables and ultra-horny communards are fine. But this theory hasn't quite gotten strange enough for you.
Like, it's really sad that the average length of sex for cis-het people is like 8 minutes. Like, what are y'all doing? You know, like, you have so many different bits you can use. Apparently. Oh.
And on that note, you feel like you've gotten the general idea of inframaterialism, enough to carry on a basic conversation at least. But if you'd like to go even deeper into some of the more speculative aspects of the theory,
obviously.
you can always read further. Of course you want to go deeper. What else are you here for? The book fits quite snugly into your palm. It would also fit comfortably into a jacket pocket.
Keep reading.
Flip forward a few pages until you come upon a chapter titled Mental Projection and Transference. When a community has achieved a sufficiently high degree of revolutionary fervor, inframaterialists believe that second-level effects may be observed. At this second level, certain hyper-revolutionary individuals may even develop the ability to extend their thoughts into material space and vice versa.
Oh no, we're definitely laughing about the fact that Kim has been standing outside the shack for an hour now. Even develop ability to extend their thought so they can read minds?
According to inframaterialist theory, yes. Under suitably revolutionary conditions, that is. Of course, one doesn't need to be a communist to be attuned to the thoughts of your brothers and sisters.
Guess that makes sense.
It's become something of a folk legend that during their final meeting, Nielsen and Mazov didn't speak a single word, preferring to sit in silence with their chamomile tea, reading one another's thoughts.
It's strangely beautiful.
One of the minor tragedies of the late revolutionary period is that few reliable accounts survive. Much of what we know of the communard's activities during this period come from memoirs and second-hand accounts, some only written down decades after the fact, and of dubious authenticity.
We don't drink tea. Why do these effects only work for hyper-revolutionary communists? Like, right now, you know what we're drinking? Well, this is basically just a nutritional slurry. And then we're drinking Crystal Light. That's fruit punch. No calories.
Because plasm has never been directly observed, the exact mechanism behind these effects remains entirely speculative. In other words, there's no evidence that any of this mind-reading stuff is real. Why are you getting hung up on mechanisms? Open your mind's aperture just a little wider. You're so close to true understanding.
If there's no evidence, how can a theory be true?
Most inframaterialists would argue that the inability of skeptics to detect plasm is simply evidence of their own insufficient revolutionary enthusiasm.
That's drinking a Kool-Aid a bit too much, maybe?
There you have it, a perfectly unfalsifiable loop. The theory is impossible to disprove.
Yeah,
on its
pretty
own
circular.
grounds. Meaning, it's hardly a theory at all. This should be more than enough for a stimulating discussion. That said, if you're still yearning for more,
We are.
you must. Everyone knows books save their best parts for the end.
Finish the book.
You breeze through the next several sections until you arrive at the final chapter, titled A Communism Above Reality. When a society's revolutionary fervor reaches the third and highest level, inframaterialist theoreticians have postulated that the laws of physics cease to be laws.
They become
More like
suggestions.
suggestions, according to some of the SRV's leading inframaterialists. Of course, it's impossible to say what exactly happens under these conditions. No known society has ever achieved the levels of revolutionary enthusiasm the theory seems to require. Some inframaterialists have even argued that it might require more plasm than humanity alone may be capable of producing.
Why do we're starting to get a feeling that we need to hunt down that cryptid to pump up our communism juice. There's non-human
In
sources?
the SRV, there have been attempts to organize certain species of aquatic mammals, as well as a few of the higher corvids.
Burbs.
But as of this writing, only human beings have demonstrated the intellectual capacity for revolutionary communism.
Anyone ever gotten close?
There are numerous stories from Samara involving bandits or fascist mercenaries being levitated by farmers from the most ideologically advanced
Thanks,
communes.
Maple.
Of course, few of these incidents have ever been rigorously investigated or substantiated.
Oh, bone-cracking goodness. Ugh. Oh. Oh. Yeah. So we're reading about inframaterialism, and apparently it's in this game, it's the theory that, thoughts don't reside in the mind, they float around in the air. And when you get enough communists together who believe in communism, things start happening. It starts affecting psyches. It starts affecting like vegetation output. Can start reading minds, and apparently at the third and highest level, the laws of reality start breaking down.
The form of these stories also recalls several well-known Samoran folk tales. In particular, the one commonly known as Clever Oleg and the Flying Magistrate. Among known attempts to channel third-level capabilities, the most well-documented is the curious case of Coalition warship Debutante.
God know what that's about.
It concerns an interesting series of events that took place during the invasion of Revachol. As Coalition forces made landfall, a cadre of Nielsen's most fervent acolytes attempted to compress a Coalition aerostatic with their collective will. According to Communard law, these acolytes positioned themselves at the top of a redoubt just over the bay of Revachol. From that vantage, they proceeded to visualize pinching Coalition warship Debutante between their fingers, a gesture believed to assist in the extra-physical materialization of their thoughts.
It work?
The acolytes, along with the redoubt, were vaporized in an artillery strike before the process could be completed.
So, no.
Picture the lot of them, all standing with their fingers in the air 1 minute, the next reduced to a bloody mist.
Fucking jibbed.
It's been said, though, that in the weeks following the battle, the captain of the Debutante noted an increase in incidents of crewmen striking their heads on unexpectedly low bulkheads.
Aye, comrade.
Of course, colorful anecdotes only scratch the surface of what inframaterialists believe may be possible in a truly third-level society.
What a level society even look like?
Some have theorized that such a society would be fundamentally unrecognizable, lacking many of the institutions we typically take for granted in advanced societies, including organized governments, financial institutions, and law enforcement.
Be rad. ACAB. Fuck the government.
Did that book just say there's no place for you in this future?
Yeah, that's good.
Others have argued that people living under third-level conditions will be immune to such infirmities as hunger, disease, and mental illness.
Oh.
In some of his later writings, Nielsen himself speculated about the potential for an extra-physical architecture that disregards the laws of bourgeois physics and instead relies on the revolutionary faith of the people for structural integrity.
Meaning the buildings stay up because people believe?
Precisely. Nielsen observed that the financial system operates on the same principle of faith. So why not an architectural system?
They were like orcs from Warhammer. The more they believe, the more it's true. Red vehicles do go faster.
On the following page, you come across a few black and white reproductions from Nielsen's own notebooks. One sketch depicts
In 2 hours.
shaped like a great inverted pyramid. A
Wow.
at the top, balanced atop foundations the size of common apartments.
Oh.
Another depicts a leaning tower
Hey!
wrapped in a dramatic helix. The caption beneath it reads,
Game gay.
Tower of History.
Yeah.
Something about that tower looks awfully familiar. Could it be that's what the students were trying to recreate with the matchboxes?
Oh, they were trying to make something that's unstable, but believe that it could hold up to prove the theory. Okay. But wait, people believe... yeah.
In the corner of one of the reproduced notebook pages, you can make out the following words, written in Nielsen's distinctive slashing script. A state that has lost the faith of its people has forfeited the right to exist.
Fair. Possible now there seems something beautiful about the ideas anymore.
There is no more. You've reached the outer theoretical limits of communism, and in less than 200 pages. If you'd like to read further, may we recommend a brief look at Occidental architecture?
Read the introduction.
Known to his numerous admirers as the evangelist of the revolution, and to his even more numerous enemies as the apocalyptic Shrike, Ignis Nielsen remains one of the most controversial and fascinating figures to emerge in the years of the anti-centennial revolution, second only to Krasmazov himself. During his unparalleled life, he helped guide a revolution in one country and found a new state in another. Along the way, he committed some of the most notorious war crimes in an era famed for its atrocities. And yet, his most fascinating contribution to history may be the most overlooked. His theory of ideological plasm, from which his followers and successors developed the school of communism known as inframaterialism.
Fascinating.
Homosexual underground. Maybe you should stop obsessing about your own and other people's sexuality. Feels like it's about time to do that. You thought about this for 8 hours? Not only should you stop, you should tell Kim you've stopped obsessing about other people's sexuality too. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Unless you already got him killed because you were obsessing about your sexuality. There's no way of telling from within your brain. But for your own sake, please say you didn't.
Bonus is stop obsessing about sexuality. Oh, cool. Yeah. Kim, how you doing?
Yes?
Kim, I have big news.
Okay.
I need to stop obsessing about my sexuality.
Great. Imagine all the time you'll have for work now. Matter of fact, we should get back to it right now.
He turns his attention elsewhere.
Just one more thing, though.
What?
Are you part of the homosexual underground?
You didn't stop at all, did you? You are just obsessing about other people's sexuality now.
Yeah, but...
But am I? I'll spare you another 20-hour mind project.
Yeah! Kim
Now
is
let's get back to
gay!
That's the truth.
You there, children on the
The
street.
scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
So, your sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Local kids. From what book? Yes. But what book?
Hello, mister.
What you holding?
It's Lammy.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days.
Looks soft.
Of the eye button.
Yes. Very soft.
Push your cheeks against Lambie.
Isn't he soft? Bye.
Is that the phasmid? It looks like the phasmid, leaning against the wall. Wait, what if this is the fishing rod situation all over again?
Where? Prospect.
It's not the phasmid. It's not even organic. It's a fire iron. How disappointing.
Can't believe it.
Right? You'll have better luck next time, though. The phasmid.
Right on.
Finding it is your destiny.
Give a dream of discovering it. Whatever a rest. Okay. You there, children.
The scruffy.
You're dumb.
You're stupid.
What if we ask something else now?
Hey.
Okay. We're gonna have to talk to Kuno about the traps now. Kuno! You little shit.
Fuck does Kuno care?
You happen to know anything about the missing locust?
No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame.
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison.
She sounds like she's about to cry, out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness.
Hold on, no one's lame here. Just tell me what happened.
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
You have a lawyer?
There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check it out.
Okay, bye, Kuno. Alright, enjoy. Oh.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Stop being sarcastic, Kim.
Oh, I'm not being sarcastic at all. We are making real progress here.
Damn it, Kim.
When someone says they're not being sarcastic, it's usually a good sign that they're being very sarcastic.
Think the plasmid is nearby?
If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know?
Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The phasmid is impairing your judgment.
You talk about Kuno.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side.
Kuno, you little shit. You lying?
Fuck does Kuno care?
No, you took a locust from a trap that a cryptozoologist set up.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
So it wasn't the phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
Say you don't give a fuck about bugs, but you go and build a whole bug town?
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Stop!
You stop. It's like their fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. It's almost too big for his imagination. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. The lameness is causing her physical pain. The damage may be permanent.
City of Rags sounds like a cool rage.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're
An artist? Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Good for you, Kuno.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
Yeah, making art is worthy calling. I'm something of an artist myself.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno!
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free. Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Powerful.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno! You'll have to take me away!
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window.
Come on, no one's coming to take you away.
Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
I need you to stop taking the locust.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno. She doesn't know whether to be glad because Kuno is finally convinced of the lameness, or more worried because of his continued use of the first-person singular. Kuno is Kuno, not I.
I have to ask, what does the City of Locust mean?
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck. Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
What's gonna happen to the
Kuno's
locust?
gonna let the fucking locusts die.
Oh, okay.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
Whatever, Plasman.
He recognizes the name.
Wait, do you know what that is?
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
Interesting.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Are those strange words you use, girl?
I come from the woods, Guttavitu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing here. Get the fuck out of here.
Alright, bye, children. Have a good day, or whatever.
Hi again, Gendarme.
What are you doing here?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
I don't know. Just going wherever life takes me.
Maybe you should figure it out, detective.
Alright.
Bye, Gendarme.
Oh, we were hoping we could hit on him. Good news.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
I had a chat with this kid, Kuno. He promised to stop stealing the locust.
So it was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right?
Ooh, well,
It means we can try again.
She acts chipper, but something's changed in her tone. A hidden worry. Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe...
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
Darling, I told you to take it easy.
Ah, he's dying.
You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
That's just something people tell themselves when they fail.
Come too far to quit. I'm gonna restock with traps. Let's do this!
We are getting really carried away with it, aren't we? Fine. It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
He wants to see this tale through, as much as you. Otherwise, he'd have stopped this already. But he cannot let it drag out after this.
Really? It's too much, officer.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
Here's a fresh batch of locusts.
Ah.
They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again.
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous.
Bugs. And then we just pawn them. Because remember which one. We know.
Snow covers the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage. The white colors nearly meld together.
Wait, why am I even thinking about this?
Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery.
Fair.
This is a Caprice Canema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40, and the answer to the Lum's racing breed, Ferv series. With its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox, the Canema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds, and go on to a top speed of 180 kilometers an hour.
Won't they roll on a first sharp corner?
The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and making the Canema effectively a mobile power plant. Even at a standstill, the unibody Caprice Canema looks sleek and dynamic. The cabin is tilted frontward to give it a more aggressive, hunched look. Someone has waxed it recently.
Machine really put the loco back into locomotive.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
Fine machine.
Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Slam it down. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Ever thought about switching to helium headlights?
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first.
If you ever get this case solved, maybe we can do it together?
Maybe. Yes, definitely maybe.
It means no.
Alright, let's go. Love you too, Kim. Yep, should be around here, hey? Aha.
The locusts aren't doing all too well, but they're still in there. This isn't the empty trap. That one Morel was setting up near the cryptozoologist's camp.
What? Oh. But... Okay. Yes, we were just mistaken. That's fair. This one?
The trap stands empty near the reeds, powdered with snow. No insect sounds or movement. The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good, now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation?
When we get to it, Cam.
Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
So... I haven't been able to find that. Wish you could just fast travel like whenever. Cause like time doesn't move when you're just running around, right? Oh, is your husband dead and gone? You know what? Here, we want to... go talk with her again. Let's see if we can look into her soul or whatever.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Drama. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do it. Okay. Alright. Drama. Mm-hmm. Okay. Be pretty good.
Hello, officer.
Nice.
What brings you up here again?
In God's name, wake up!
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
Real name isn't whatever, right?
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Hey, what?
Okay, it's not.
Good, you can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
It's a Grad name. Jimsk or Yugograd in origin, not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music-infused alcoholism. It also makes Klasia almost an alacronym for Katarzyna Alazia.
Hold on, it's grand.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Alasia is my father's name.
Yeah, it's abbreviation.
It was a sentimental thing. I wanted to be more me here, this time. So I used my nickname.
A nickname? Who gave you this nickname, Clark?
Give it to you.
A teenage boy. 1,000,000 years ago.
I'll keep calling you that, though.
That's cool.
She doesn't feel like a Klasia. She feels like nothing. She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
No, I think you didn't make that call to a station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Say nothing.
She stands before you, holding her back very straight.
What if I told you you were under arrest?
Klasia. It was my first real boyfriend who gave me that name. He never recovered from the shit we went through. Because of me.
Was he?
He was a writer. He made Oranese lit. And I destroyed him. I know I'm shit. I know. But I haven't done anything. At least nothing illegal.
She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
Mysteries up. Misrepresented information about the case. Without Hardy's confession, we know nothing.
The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please no.
Fragile, unshielded. Her voice is thin and tired.
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
Do you know who shot him?
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she says, gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby.
We know. How could she have killed him?
You've been through there, right? I saw you come out. It leads downstairs. She could have come to the roof through that, then made the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Haven't we kind of established this?
In theory, did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Why do you think it was her?
She has this thing for me, ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
Lesbian action?
What she's saying is... sex?
Sex?
And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she is romantically interested in you?
she said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
Like she was fixated.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching?
Ruby said there would be shit happening. Didn't end a relationship with the deceased. Was she threatening you?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep
Welcome
the Harleys
back.
in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
Okay, that's it for Ruby.
Okay. And what? Arrest the liar now.
No.
She told us some pretty interesting things there.
Who?
Her. Stop letting her distract you.
Okay, keep you a mess for now.
thank you. Thank you. You won't regret it.
Something tells you you will.
Devil woman.
What?
Her hand trembles. She's
Alright.
She slowly.
Bye.
You are. This is not the end of this.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions.
Cool. Alright, let's put on our normal gear. That's good. No. Here. You know what? Fuck your door. We're leaving it open. By the way, moved out.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Oh, the bill.
For 20 real?
No.
Why are you...
Guess we don't know. We didn't pick that up as misogynistic, but guess that's fair.
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face.
Stock the empty traps.
Thank you for doing that, dear.
Her smile is weary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
I think the hardcore players left, huh? Hardcore to the max!
Yes. Field work is a young person's game, as they say.
Don't seem young.
Her voice is shaky. What
is who's gonna check her traps?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
One more onto the breach, then.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like
You know,
she's
what's
given
wrong? You seem different.
Different? How?
Answering a question with a question, for example. Defensive isn't her usual style.
You're not telling me a whole story.
I'm not. It's not bad.
What is it?
It's,
Yeah, Kim's a champ.
a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer. Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream?
Yeah.
Hunching her shoulders now. She seems even smaller than she is. Like a sad young girl.
Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
But
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
You seem to really believe it happening. Doesn't that count for something?
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too.
The queen of cryptozoologists. Rad.
Well, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
Hopefully we get this.
An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
Wrong or not, your relationship with Morel is more than just a phasmid.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple.
Nothing wrong with that.
If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
Yeah, normally when I think about stuff like women and marriage, I feel bad. When I think about you and Morel, I feel okay.
Oh, of course it counts for something. But we've had our hard times too.
He pushed you down the stairs?
I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived. On our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
Say nothing.
I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must go before I start crying and waste more of it.
Oh, no.
What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
You can't tell us what to do.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
Doesn't mean, okay, it's a false memory. Doesn't mean all... Wait, oh no, I still believe you.
A true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it. How it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Do that, I'll check for traps.
Really?
Yeah, Kim, shut up.
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
Have you adjust just in case there's news?
Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but...
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
Yeah, need help getting to Gary's?
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered.
Based.
And then it's not so bad.
Been a pleasure, ma'am.
Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be a
waste of time.
Shut up, Redrick.
A dream. A lie. A fool's hope.
Everyone's chiming in.
Like that, she drives off. Utters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside,
we should go to
somewhere out there, a kilometer to the southeast. A gust of wind shakes the felled building, rattling dusty windows.
Wait, so can we check for traps again? No way to find a tape for Egghead? We're gonna find this. No, we will. We believe. We believe.
The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. Poor things.
This just wraps around, right? Been up here? Ah, yes. Have. Gonna find it, we know it.
The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Most of them aren't moving. Poor things. The trap is filled.
Still believe. Come on, we need to bring it to the communists.
A few locusts trudge along the wall of the poor thing.
The last one was up over here. Oh no, that's where the dead husband was. Tim, we're so glad you're gay. Makes you so much better. Rock. Oh, money.
An old door worn by elements. Guards. Just dead and dying locusts, and the slow swaying of surrounding reeds. Poor things.
Dang. So there are no cryptids? So sad. Ooh, look at our money. 3333. Interfacing A. Let's see if we can get it up high enough to make a difference. Probably not. What chance is it?
An old door.
Oh, it's still. Jeez. No, I'm really surprised, like, even equipping this thing.
An old door. Worn
doesn't help. Dual wielding.
Old door. Worn by.
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. How do we get to the island anyways? Like, we've looked all over for, on a boardwalk. Oh no. Left over here? No. Hmm. You know what? If we mention that it's all her teddy bear's all beat to shit, will she let us try to fix it?
Mister, what were you doing in my fireplace?
There's a phasmid in it. I was trying to catch it.
Oh. Okay. It's Lammy.
Lambie.
Looks like he's falling apart.
Lammy has lived a long life. Lammy was a
Revolutionary?
Yes! Lammy was a resolutionary. Bye!
What a sweetheart. Still hit on her even though we're gay.
Either sea's gonna calm down soon.
Why does she care about the waves?
She's a fisher, but let's say it
What is
anyways.
with waves and fishermen?
Yeah, yeah.
But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer?
Joyce, you got anything new?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Nothing. Actually?
You're back. I fear I've told you all.
Oh, okay. Take us to the island? Come on. Boat.
Either sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. Oh?
Never mind.
Really? Are you sure you're not? A lot of stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. Don't feel like a lot, but yeah, whatever.
Oh. There's plenty missing. But that's too much for even an eager terrier like you to handle.
Oh, the pale lady, right. I want to talk to her. She might have she might know more about pale stuff. That's fascinating. But, first of all, we need to go use the restroom. So we'll be back in just a bit. Gonna run an ad, so don't be spooked. We'll be back in just a bit. Okay, we're back.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions.
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
You're a Pale driver. You transport goods through the Pale.
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the Pale, and now he's talking to everyone about it. Fine then. Just try not to black out again, and don't contemplate. We don't have time for that.
Shut up, Kim.
It's death, but for the universe, oh, we're contemplating the living shit out of this.
Oh, I'm contemplating, Kim. I'm drawing existential conclusions from this.
Exactly what I didn't want you to do. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in Pale Transport.
No offense. But your partner? Seems like a bit of an idiot.
Wow.
Republica, a filterless cigarette from Misk.
Publica? That's not very healthy.
Neither is Pale transportation. Life is transitory.
Blacked out from sheer heartbreak and lost all memory of the world.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Segúreme, Paraíso. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything, even the things I never knew.
You never knew?
The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. In the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation. On the grand stairs of Ryle. The smoke from the Fowling piece when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father. And I never shot her innocent as Dolores Day.
Over radiation?
Heroic doses, Herifia. Heroic.
Ah. Not dangerous?
Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catalan Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now
Fuck it, we ball.
You've seen it all go away like that. Rolling off like the sea. And then come back to this? What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets in electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
Nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking. Terrible nostalgia. For yourself. For humans. It's too much to bear.
Look like?
Like looking into the ocean at night. In the dark. You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined.
Let's do it.
In the belly of an airship, behind the stair windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it.
Not on this hallway then?
No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
The wheels all small and round. Multi-axle trailers.
The last thing you said, we can just become vapor?
Yes.
No elaboration.
Like I already have what you have in some way.
Let's say there is a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pell, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you've been down the motorway south?
Motorway south?
It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Sheriff, not Pell drivers. Way beyond the established Pell that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
What's the end?
No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance when I was a child. A child growing on the leg.
Him?
Josiana.
There is nothing more to do now. She is receding in the clutches of some indescribable scattered.
You've fried both your brains enough for today, detective. Let's get some air. This one's far gone.
We're gonna do that. We can. Alright. Go burrito, as they say. Now, we're curious about looking for that other book. Because there was a book that I mentioned in the book. An info material book.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular. This is entirely, completely you. You have found the right books.
Wow, more handle.
Mountains of it. Heroic quantities of Hyundai. Roy's.
Cool.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring
Fascist magic.
shelves full of biographies of famous people.
look through.
Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Erb. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest.
Boing.
Next to that,
Why so much?
I really must insist you buy one of the books. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you.
this bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
How does that work?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give wholeness, unity, when it's up to your mind. It's your own fault if you're ill. Got it?
Rude.
Various paranatural.
Okay, guess no more communism books in here. That's fair.
Officer, care to play a game? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same.
Where's Renee?
The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
Dead?
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Hey, Renee, rest in peace.
Yes. In peace.
Oh, that's sad. You know what? We won't try to convince him to give us a bite of a sandwich. Oh, tree.
The hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in its branches. With slow and deliberate motions, pulling, it curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you can find a way to re-spool it. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help.
What's the tape for?
For Egghead, I promised to make his Van Eccles jam hit a bit harder. Maybe this tape can help.
How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it?
Not sure, but I'll find out. Maybe Egghead. No. Wait, where's Master? Wait. Yeah, at least one of them.
Also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We shouldn't waste our time.
Good idea. He might have the tools. The tape projector in the...
Everything's still cool here, officer.
What's money?
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Hey, you seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of a local police force?
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you, come on.
Think of it as an investment.
An investment? What kind of investment?
Or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
Investment in your customer base. Gotta prime the pump, man.
Fair point. You can't have a successful business without a loyal customer base.
10.
10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment.
Nice.
You got it, my man.
Bye. Thanks for the money. We may or may not buy something. Roy, help.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
You fix this?
You mean Reese Poley? Yeah, I do, but
Hey, could you do it, please?
I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Although it looks pretty.
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand.
Wait, but you tinker with film tapes all the time, isn't that the same?
No, it's different. Those film tapes actually mean something to me. But this is just a worthless bundle of old tape.
Worthless is not worthless, Roy. This could be a next big thing for the local dance music scene.
Huh? What do you mean?
Of old church down by the coast.
Yes. What about it?
Helps some young ravers turn this place into a nightclub. They play weird beats there, which they call... we forgot how to pronounce it. Music.
Is it any good? The music, I mean.
No, the thing is, you can't believe how unbearably thin the beat is. There's nothing to it, no bass, it just goes boost, boost, boost. This tape could really make it hardcore!
Man, you're really invested in this. Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though, so just sit back and relax.
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand and coughs. You know these visuals would look super cool in the church.
Hey, those visuals you got here would look great in a church.
Yeah, I bet they would. All those lights in a massive church hall. A sanctuary filled with hand-picked positive photons. There would be no room for sadness in such a place. It's a brilliant vision.
There's a but, isn't there? There's always a but.
But...
I rather like it here, too. So yeah, I'm not giving you my projector. This tape is all I can do for you and your friend's nightclub project.
There's no way to turn this around, I'm afraid.
Well, thanks for your help.
Yeah, my pleasure.
A typical Martinez Street sits among assorted...
Well, if we don't have... You know, we should have moved into the free house sooner. Could have saved some money. Oh well. Church, right. Actually, you have anything worth pawning? Could pawn that.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. Winter's grip on the city is loosening. The spring thaw is here.
Finally, what now?
Humid. Your coat shields you from the rain while the city...
Motherfucker.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, hardcore to the max.
Good morning, comrade! Yeah! Harder, car!
Oh yeah, we turned Egghead into a communist. I found this real tape.
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B!
A hand on his ear, he listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself?
A great excitement is bubbling to the surface within him. This is big.
No, I actually found it tangled up in a tree.
Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready?
Ready?
if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper.
What is this? It's good. How did you guys do that?
You're right. It's uncanny how well all goes together. Something else must be going on here.
Yes, but what if Van Eyck based his remix on some forgotten local melody, like a folk song, and you just found the original piece that inspired him to create this jam? That would explain why it fits so well.
Nah, to me it sounds like classic Van Eyck. I don't think he needs any inspiration from folk songs. Maybe he lives in Martinez and just threw away part of his song because he thought it wasn't good enough.
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent is the key. No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well. Something mysterious is going on here.
Agreed with Noid.
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits. Bring up the volume.
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
I think you might know the answer.
What if we used that crazy sound assault from Sonia's experiments and contained it, tamed it, made it a pulse?
But how?
What about that compressor Andre was setting up to achieve some sort of parallel processing?
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty ultra.
But it could be hyper hardcore.
Interfacing. Okay. Not all we have for interfacing. Or we equip these, do we get interfacing bonuses?
Good morning, comrade! Yeah! Harder car!
Let's...
Good morning, comrade! Yeah!
Bzz, 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 goes the track in the background, never ending. You can't grasp what the young man bobs his head to.
Let's... Wow. 1234.
Yes. What is it? I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I'm working.
The machine seems almost.
Okay.
Could you just...
It's not just rudeness.
Great.
Bye. Okay, so...
Sure. You helped us out. Sure.
Thing somewhere. Ah. So, quick question, if anyone knows, technology business. You know what? Guess we'll go investigate. We'll make a hard save. This just like, this isn't a final confrontation, right? Like, are we at end? Don't think we're at end? Don't know. Two bullets. All right.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm.
My hand recognizes it.
It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. The gun, your gun, can be an item of destruction, but also creation. The Villiers-la-Salle art project. Time to shoot some beauty through the heart of Martinaise.
We gotta. Hopefully we don't. You know what? Maybe it's probably the best idea not to run in there with the gun out. We'll even walk. For sneakiness factors. You know what? Never mind. Fuck that.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones.
Interesting.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word, officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio.
Don't cover them.
That's an awful decision. Why would you not want to shield yourself from it? It's an entirely new type of it. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Go to arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
Gonna kill me too?
I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. All things considered, I'm being pretty reasonable here. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing. It's the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Saw your equations, it's the ULAN frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station.
What?
It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
You experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
How did you get your hands on this
I
thing?
built it myself.
Whoa.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Kim.
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
Stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
This is all great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself.
Could you turn it down so I can ask you something?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise. God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She's carrying a 2-barreled front loader. Remain careful. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much.
Shoot, Lily?
I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you.
Ooh.
Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
Right.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus told me it took some convincing.
Oh, fuck. Took some convincing my ass. And those guys liked me, I know it. This is what happens to people whom people like.
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
Wait, wasn't it? Called me the human can opener? It's not personal. I opened them.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same.
That did make her forgive them. A little.
I do it by asking questions, and I got some for you!
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
You have an alibi?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me.
Those 10 minutes I couldn't account for. Or...
You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
Investigation shows that was just enough time.
Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
Play pinball much?
No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why?
There's some mysterious pinball machines in the pretty mysterious rooms in the Whirling.
Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries.
Wait, what kind of mysteries are you interested in then?
Not murder mysteries either, if that's what you're thinking.
She looks you in the eye, impassively, making it clear that she's not planning to comment on the matter any further.
Okay, never mind mysteries. There's a secret way to a Whirling bar to the roof.
Don't know it, but also...
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
That didn't go super well. You've got to do something better on her.
Do you leave any flowers on the roof?
No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style.
They weren't just flowers, they were a symbol of revolution.
So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on.
She was mourning.
I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too.
Okay, but you didn't leave her Maybells?
No, I did not.
Liked her a lot.
I considered her a good friend, yeah.
But you want to be more than friends.
Oh, so that's where you were going with this.
Said you wanted to run away with her.
That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts who didn't want to catch up with us, and we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road trip?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly, occasionally shaking from the pain.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it.
Clausia only said they maybe kissed. Someone is lying here.
Wait, she said you only kissed.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into details for you to jerk off to later.
Seriously, just move on.
And what happened?
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leading me on. I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on.
No ill will there. It wasn't a problem for her.
Despite everything, you helped her by staging the lynching?
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer.
Call it whatever. Said you got very angry. She started seeing Lolly, threatening her.
Yeah. One time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy.
Things.
It's your body.
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
You're running drugs for a union?
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Oh, he didn't. I found my own way in.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
Got financial incentive to kill the merc.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the union.
Good.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
But you're threatening us with it.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the gun and the compressor, she's afraid of you.
Say Lolly was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
Feel protective of a union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
She didn't hate him, okay?
There's nothing more personal that you had against him? Perhaps his way with women?
You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me. And definitely not a reason to off someone.
Other questions? Like a hangout on rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Clausia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
What's so great about
It's
it?
very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
Take a step back.
Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop, that strange, distant fear is getting close now. It's a fear of yourself.
What do you mean, La Puta Madre agent?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Yeah.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you. I don't know. Sounds pretty convincing to me.
Wow, yeah, he's dangerous, right?
A joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to know all about this, but I lost my memories recently.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this Madre anyways?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat. Wait, one thing. Possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
I came into town, was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Who was in the squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying.
Remember when we slept last night, there was a thing about 2 men and a woman in ceramic armor. Interesting.
That sound about right?
No idea who these people are. Literally. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Miller. We could either take a room here in the whirling or go home for today. Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
Think I know them, they're Martinez.
Friction, lock, set.
Don't leave me here. Please leave.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me.
Goldvermark?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head.
Those rings around her eyes. Her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window...
You know about the bunker?
It looked as though he'd been dead. What bunker?
Communist hideout back there?
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Okay. Yeah, just let us do this.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell. But...
Okay, Cam.
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. No.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options.
What options?
You know.
Please, just walk away.
She stares at you, frozen, the gun still in her mouth, eyes filled with dark intensity. Then something shifts in her. Gratitude, doubt. She's still ready to go. Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
I have to do this. You're not cornered. I'm letting you go.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Good call.
Thanks.
I would have done the same, had I not been incapacitated.
Didn't do it.
Her tent. We should check it out.
That was rough. $8. One of those.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionate.
That's not red.
The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes.
Shine your flashlights on the books.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Magazines.
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook.
Notebook, take it.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal. A trusted friend left behind.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Cover.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name. Schneller.
Schneller.
Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously.
Find this trap.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Study the handwriting.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margin.
Flip through pages.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Out of logistics.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
The diagrams.
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them.
How far back does it go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
What did she write the day Lily died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't
Thing about La Palmadre?
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th. Great. M's peon is coming to town. No doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder.
We miss nicotine.
Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Were you supposed to find her, even apart from the investigation then? On M's request? No, you wouldn't do something like this. This must be a mistake. You didn't follow through. You should have shot her in the head.
Yeah.
The thought steadies your nerves. The journal stops shaking.
Other entry?
Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
That cover again?
The thick journal, bound in brown leather, is full of candor and...
What's most recent?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
I just don't think she killed a mercenary. It's mostly a gut feeling, though, since we let her walk out without hearing her side of the story.
That would be a first, or a fourth. But who's counting, he thinks. Very rarely does anyone actually get framed.
Am I really a La Puta Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting.
Didn't do it, then maybe it's good that we didn't touch her.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre.
And killed it.
She was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or...
No one heard a shot.
Maybe she had an accomplice. Either way, one thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Question...
The plane wrecked.
Else? Nope. that was exciting. Whoa, cool. Funny, hell yeah. Cash, cash. Oh, jeez. So, right. You know, we really thought we did it. But, like, and now, doubt it. Interfacing, right?
Good morning, comrade! Yeah! Harder!
Interface. Oh, shit. Can't. What? Can we fast travel? Oh, because there's probably going to be something to happen on the way there, isn't there? Alright.
Our tenant, the policeman.
Very interesting. We can't fast travel. Oh.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right?
Shut up! You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm.
What's going on?
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Corty.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street? This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible, but you can hear them.
Fuck, there's a third one.
How did we miss something like this?
The lieutenant is genuinely worried for his life. You should consult him before getting in there.
Scab.
If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first.
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
Well.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
Pig fuck!
Easy now, no one needs to die today.
Oh, people are gonna die today. We're not leaving it like this. These tribals hung him up for everyone to see.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. You feel your fists contract as you stand there between these men, all carrying real weapons. No, it's okay. Soften him up and trust the others to attack if it comes to that. Make him talk. Present an argument. I'm barely keeping you together here. This is it. If you talk to him, he will rattle you, not the other way around. Peace. Always peace. It has worked thus far. Start with the first idea you have. Move down from that. Please.
Talk about the hangman, man.
Of course. Nothing bad will happen.
Ow!
Talk about his dead friend. He seems stable enough to take it. Even better, it will further destabilize.
Feel like I got to know your dead friend during our investigation.
You don't fucking talk to me about my brother, Loincloth.
Okay, yes. Immediate failure. Things are worse now. He's observing your Alright, here we go. This is an illegal tribunal. Krenner would never sanction this. Who's the commanding officer? Take your pick. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
Called Downwell once. What happened?
What always happens when you get good at your job? That name meant night raids. Fucking extrajudicial funky time. Burned villages. Shit that sounds bad on the radio. The same thing happened when we were called whatever the fuck it was. Probably won't be called Crenell for much longer. Not after this shit.
Okay, it's not much. But he's thinking about something else. And his hand is off the gun. This did something. Now fire. Fuck them up. Do it.
No!
The muscles on your back tense up. Easy now. Tell them these men didn't do it. There's a peaceful way out.
Who is that?
Rude. Rude is the killer. Rude, the killer. Owen Cloven. He doesn't talk much.
All of you cunts inside out.
Okay, let's just keep talking. No one needs to die.
This talking shit.
They didn't do it.
Yeah? Who did that?
Someone else. Someone who's not here now.
How fucking convenient.
His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw.
That came from a great distance. The sniper did it.
You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? What if I just shot one of your pals here, right now? Huh? How about the kid? Tell me, it's a magic fucking sniper one more time.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead court marshal won't decide who...
He's gonna do it. He's gonna shoot her.
Think, why doesn't he believe me?
The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him, all together. Titus said, we took him out back and hanged him. He said it loud, in a public place.
Listen, he was shot, he wasn't hanged. Listen to me.
You're lying. DePaul heard it.
You heard wrong. She and these men have been helping us find the shooter.
The hanging was only a cover-up. Listen.
Fucking liars.
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot has flown over her head, crashing a small pane of the glass window behind her.
I missed.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him. They said it was a good way to end a Sunday night.
That doesn't sound good. You need to change the topic now, or there will be another shot. What topic? Shots have been fired. Act before it's too late. This was a close call.
All drunk, look at yourselves.
Yes. So what?
Judgment's impaired, you'll regret this.
Nah. I'm clear as day. Fucking government ordained super soldier.
Enough already! What is this?
Can't believe we failed that, like,
To fucking
and check or whatever.
Interrupt me again and I will execute you on the spot, Lance Corporal.
Alpine's rep does not approve of this.
You think I care what that company cunt thinks?
Alpines is not going to forgive you for massacring a bunch of innocent people.
The man stares at you with bloodshot eyes, a bull ready to charge. He's not listening, but looking for an opening. Now is not a good time to strike. He's looking right at your hands. Do something else. Get him distracted.
Working together, she knew you're out of control, she told me.
Gone, you stupid fuck! Sailed off 5 minutes ago. She doesn't give a shit about you, Silos.
Stay cool! Don't do anything stupid!
The company bitch is gone. Laylee's gone. Fuck are we still doing in this shithole?
Guys, I just get in the way. I don't even have a gun.
Hold your ground. Any more of you run, I'll shoot you myself. We're doing this together.
They're afraid, all of them. Trembling reeds in the wind. They'll run, scatter soon, one by one. No, the rest will stay. They would hold their ground, even if it means dying here with you.
Yeah, she can explain
Who
this.
the fuck is that?
Glacia, the woman upstairs, where is she?
She left.
Unarmed, hunched, but keeping it together.
What do you mean she left?
She left. Her room's cleaned out. Right before these assholes showed up.
We should have arrested her.
You can feel how upset he is with himself. Just for a second. Then the fear takes over and...
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of this one!
Shoot him.
A plume of smoke and fire erupts from the gun, and your hand goes numb from the explosion.
Get him.
There is a hole in his cheek. Blood gushes out as he stumbles backward. Eyes to your right, the killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady, but the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly.
Think.
You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see Rude's mask behind it, his eyes in the slit of the helmet, like a camera lens. 0.6 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the tip of the thick barrel, like a honeycomb. This is a knock cannon. It shoots 6 rounds in one pull of the trigger. Absolute destruction. God, you're so frail. Too frail to think further. Time is running out. You leap left. A swarm of angry lead passes mere millimeters from your side, tearing fabric off your coat. feels like the lightest of touch.
Troy, I'm alive.
The man tilts his head, trying to see through the clearing smoke for the next shot. Watch out. To your left, DePaul is about to take a shot too, at Kim.
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. And 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers. Oh God, watch out. You see 2 crazed eyes stare at you through all the smoke and the panic. With blood gushing from his face, the man raises the look of vengeance, framed in blood, lips shaking. This is the last thing he'll... Here it comes. Death.
Raid.
You can't. There is no time. Something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire and your legs can't support you. The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark.
Try to open your eyes. What do I see?
Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them. Like a hellish play.
You're bleeding out.
Dark, I can't see anything.
Stay with me. You hear me? Stay awake. Look at me.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And a cold comes over you. The lieutenant, too, is somewhere far away. A slender white shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising her. Scream immediately. He's gonna die.
No, Kim.
No, you scream. Behind you, from your bloody lips. Your eyes are full of fear. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant turns around and fires, his body falling on yours in the course of the motion. You hear a faint scream, a woman's. Then the sound disappears, like someone pressed stop on the tape. The woman is gone. So is Kim. Then the whole world.
Fall into total darkness?
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door.
Oh, let me back into a fight.
Fight? There is no fight. The fight is over.
No.
It was lost. 1,000. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead. Over the hours. And rotting. And being disinfected. And smelling of drugs and feeling saliva in his mouth. Drifting in painkillers. Thrashing in his wound sleep.
He can't go. Not before the case is solved. There is a radio in the distance. A radio of the world. Playing sounds. Good morning.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally we know what the infernal end.
The engine of a Caprice Kinema.
No, it was him. He is the infernal engine. Can't you see? He never stops. He only gets worse.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket.
Fuck.
It turns double.
Is there any way to solve that peacefully? Because, like, we failed that one check that was, like, it was, like, in the 80s and we failed. So, like,
Sunrise, Parabellum.
Jack Kim, you took it off. How bad am I hurt?
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. The outer side, thankfully, no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome.
I walk?
We will see.
You hurt?
Not very. I have a concussion from that woman beating me with the butt of her gun. I tried to not move too much. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see her coming. Stupid of me.
One from a station been to see me?
No.
A man and a woman sit in the front seat of an armored motor carriage. The woman is driving. The man lights a cigarette. Jean-Vic Mayer is his name. The asphalt vanishes under the wheels of the machine. Ahead, harbor cranes rise to the sky. Back to that shithole, he says.
That's strange.
I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site.
Odd, you haven't seen any?
I'm sure they're worried about you.
That means he hasn't seen them around while you were out. They're not really worried about you. If they were,
Better not agitate.
Sorry.
Not my station.
I did. No need. Easy now. How are you?
Yeah.
The lieutenant looks at you, teetering on your feet.
Ooh, nice.
He thinks you should sit back down. Back straight now. You're not sitting anywhere.
This room, it's clean.
Mr. Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day.
How long have I been out?
2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Dramamine and curse. And drink water.
This jacket, Kim, you took it off.
Yes. The joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it off.
The close proximity of death must have made the lieutenant contemplate his life choices. He's done with
What did you say? Sunrise?
Sunrise Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying.
Isn't that written on your
gun? It's engraved on it.
Served you well.
The war today?
The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely.
Good.
Yes, we have also completely failed. But that's okay.
What happened?
What happened? You shot the major in the face. A firefight ensued.
Dead?
Yes.
A blood-stained killer.
As retaliation, the rifleman tried shooting you. He missed, or you dodged. I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive.
This is not the first person to die in his place. He goes on.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo did not make it. They both died before they made it to intensive care. Titus survives. So do Alain and the musician. I forget his name. Yes, he's still alive too. You were bleeding out. You said something, I don't know what. And you warned me. I was able to disarm Officer DePaul before she got the jump on me.
Thank you.
I killed her. And that's what happened.
Casualties on the Union side.
Glenn, Theo, Angus. The fat one. He took a lot of bullets. And Theo, he was just too old for combat.
All dead? All three of them?
DePaul was the last to die. Everard had their bodies returned to Crenel for a funeral. The company is yet to retaliate. Because we deterred them? Or Joyce did? Maybe the harbor in full lockdown is too costly a target. Or maybe they are simply taking their time and will attack soon. I don't know.
That's all.
All.
Not that bad, considered.
Oh, no, officer. It's pretty bad. 6 people are dead. But what's done is done.
We're not dead,
the violence
though.
is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has
Yeah,
not
see?
materialized yet. And we are still alive. Both of us.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies.
What happens now, Kim?
I honestly don't know.
Don't. Good, because I totally do.
Because we can't talk to Everhart. The harbor is in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now. And Joyce has left too.
This is gone?
Yes, she left yesterday morning. To meet the board of Wild Pines, or that is what I've heard. There's a pin somewhere in the machine that keeps Connell from sending in a death squad. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone, and Classio too. We really should have arrested her, you know?
Heck, she's really...
Guard confirmed she left 20 minutes prior to the tribunal showing up.
Did it then, Kim? Who killed the hangman?
I don't know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else, outside our circle of suspects, was right. It better be. Everyone within the circle is either dead or gone. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect.
Look at Maybell's, Kim, the flowers! What? This one, remember?
Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have to keep everything.
He's wrong.
And every piece of garbage is connected.
Okay.
So a 28% possibility.
We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else?
Of our old bunkers.
We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Revachol is full of them.
But they seemed so mysterious.
They're fucking useless.
No need to be melodramatic.
You know what? I think about solving crimes.
Brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
Hard.
It really is very hard.
That concussion must be making him dizzy.
Not ready to give up, are you?
No. Are you ready to limp?
Ready.
Where do you want to limp to?
The lieutenant did mention doing more ballistics. Also, it's just close enough to endure the walk.
We should check.
Why not?
Room.
Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better.
Arno van Eyck. Okay, so Egghead is clearly not Van Eyck in disguise. Van Eyck is an Oranese disc jockey, but those people get around, especially in Revachol, in the clubs on Boogie Street. Perhaps he stayed here for a short stint and discarded part of the song he was working on, just threw it away. And then it ended up in the hawthorn tree. But why? Did he think it was retrograde? It wasn't. Perhaps he caught a glimpse of the future and did not want for it to arrive just yet. Perhaps the city whispered the top line to him, and he was frightened by it.
Okay, geez. We're gonna save. Yeah, geez. Yeah, that was intense. We got nothing else. Thanks for watching, everyone. May or may not do Fighting Friday tomorrow afternoon. We'll see. Either way, more Disco Elysium next Tuesday. So, bye. Love y'all. Mwah.